Alright, hey guys, so thanks for watching my demo today. As I said yesterday, I'll try to be doing a mech a day using Photobash technique. So as Jerry suggested here, I have the generator of some kind, and right here I have the rocket engine that Aaron suggested, and on the bottom right here I have, I think it's called trebuchet that Fuji suggested. So first and foremost, silhouettes. Silhouettes are probably the most important part when I design the mechs, at least for me. If I don't have an interesting silhouette, it tends to become a bad design in the end. So if I have like a strong foundation, strong silhouette design in the beginning, it tends to have a better result in the end. So I really recommend when you do not just mechs but like environments, even character designs, anything concept art related, having strong silhouette really helps. So now right here, now that I have a kind of a good silhouette, a comfortable silhouette for me to start off, right here I'm just kind of pulling these shapes, or pulling these parts from the photos that I got from the suggestions, and start bashing it onto my silhouette. So to do that, I copy and paste that section of image that I want, and just transforming, warping, erasing, stuff like that. Just pretty simple, but not to break the silhouette too much. Oh, that's one more thing. Even though you might have a really solid silhouette, in the end you will find yourself changing it a bit, because silhouette is just a blob. It doesn't have form, doesn't have shape, it doesn't have perspective. So as you go on photobashing, you'll see me changing, cutting, and kind of adjusting the placement of the sections or the silhouette, like just now. So I had a question from Art Tool from Instagram. If you haven't seen his stuff on Instagram, go check it out. Art Tool. He has some really nice paintings. Anyways, his question was how I come up with my imaginations. So let me talk a little bit about this guy I'm working on right now. So the three suggestions I got: the generator, the rocket engine, and the trebuchet. I didn't know what trebuchet was, so I Google searched it, and immediately with this one, the moment I saw the trebuchet, I was like, dude, I want to make a mech version of it. So that's one way, like that's one of the way that I got my idea, my imagination of creating this mech. So obviously that's one of the many ways I come up with my imagination, but even before you come up with imagination, I believe you need to have a strong understanding and strong knowledge about what you're aiming to design. So for example, when I'm designing robots, I have a lot of art book, a lot of reference. I study it a lot. I looked at a lot of mechanical pieces and sketched it out on my sketchbook. Painted it, color study, value study, whatever, perspective, a lot of perspective, and eventually, I'm at this level. So I doubt that for anyone who wants to do robots, just straight out doing Photobash from the beginning, unless if you're like super talented and I don't know, just pure God's gift, I don't believe you're able to do something like this. Obviously you need years and years of just practice and studying. So to come up with that imagination, in a nutshell, coming up with an imagination comes down to mileage. That's what I think a lot of artists will say in the end. There are no tricks or techniques. I mean, there are some to a point, but in the end, it's down to your practice and mileage, how much you want it, how much you practice drawing that mech or that character or the environment or whatever. The more you do it, the more creative, more imagination you'll get. So with that in mind, here are some tips and techniques that I use to help my creativity and imagination flowing. One way is the silhouette method. So here I used a brush pen and just simply did a quick stroke and just let my instinct draw whatever it feels like. It's very easy and very quick. Like, I probably spend less than 30 seconds on each of them, and it's just a quick way to kind of get my balls rolling. So another technique I use is, I call it the squiggly line method, where I just use either Photoshop or just traditional pen or pencil and just squiggle on to the canvas. And it's a little more complex than just straight up silhouette, because you could sort of see the details within the silhouette, but it's still pretty fast. I still keep obviously the silhouette in mind, but there are a little more details within the silhouette, and it's just helps me a little more than just a regular silhouette. And I believe I use sort of like this method most of the time, but yeah, that's another method. So this one here is pushing the details even little more further by adding value and form. So it's still squiggly, but there's 3 values to it. So one, the darkest dark, the black, and the medium dark gray, and the light gray. And this just helps me kind of see the form better, where the light direction is and how things are rounded up. It's still pretty fast at this point. This is taking me a little longer, probably 5 to 10 minutes, but still though, as a thumbnail, as your way to get your gears rolling, it's fast. And if you work for like a game studio or something, at this stage, it's probably good enough to show your art director where you're headed. So it's just a little more complex version thumbnail. Obviously you can't show this and call it done. It's a final game asset, but it's just good enough to show some of the artists and other art director to to tell them where you're going with this design. So I have many other techniques that I use to enhance and help my designs, but I'm about wrapping it up with my mech right here, so I won't have time to show. But in a nutshell, there's many ways you can approach things. It doesn't have to be this one way. If you use Photoshop, Photoshop isn't the only way to solve problem or come up with design. Obviously it is a great tool to help you come up with obvious imagination, but there are many different ways to, you know, come up with the imagination. You know, just step out, sometimes step outside of your comfort zone and just try out different mediums and, you know, approaches. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching my video. Hope this video helps.